Well,
Boys, I've
Wow.
gathered you here at my daughter's wedding uh, to ask you not to ask about trivia this week.
All right, Tim.
is this supposed to be where we're supposed to beg? Because it's not going to happen. It's not going to
Oh,
happen.
okay.
We're not going to beg anybody.
Reverse
Everybody.
psychology doesn't work apparently on you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. Nope. Actually, thank God. Welcome to the Liquid Courage podcast, a trivia-free podcast.
Nope, there will be trivia
about
still.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm Taylor.
My
That you just
God.
heard Tim, and that was Sheldon, and we're here to
Finally.
talk to you about Courage the Cowardly Dog while leaving out bad trivia. And it is now it's legally binding. That it was brought up by our co-host Tim that he is not going to do trivia this week. Isn't
You
that
mean
gonna be
at
fun
my
for
daughter's
everybody?
wedding? I don't have a daughter, and there's no
Legally
wedding going on.
binding.
It's jokes
verbally
on
signed.
you. There's
Legally binding.
I have looked ahead, and there's only one trivia fact, but they're production
Ooh,
notes, so you're
Baby,
still
I
not on
love
the
the fact that we won't have any trivia.
There's not much to
This
say
episode's
about
going
that.
to be all over the place. I have a feeling.
Well, I have a feeling it will be because both of these episodes are very odd and deal with things in odd and peculiar ways in which that I don't think we're necessarily going to be able to string out for that long of conversation.
You're absolutely correct.
And with that,
So frauds.
how is everybody? Everybody good? Everybody
I'm
out there in
here.
listening land good too? Hope so.
It doesn't ask us.
Could be
No,
better.
I've
Could be
I've
better.
already talked to you. That's the pre-show. This is all evergreen content. I have a question for you two though.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, did you ever have the friend who had like reptiles for pets?
Yeah.
I had a cousin. He had an anaconda.
Yeah, I don't.
Did it not want none? Unless it had buns.
I'm gonna strangle you.
There we go. But you both okay? So you had an anaconda cousin.
Yep.
Huh.
You had a constricting cousin, if you will. Tim, you had friends that had reptiles.
Yeah, I always had a friend that had like a snake or like whatever. I also had a
Snake.
very close friend. She had everything like snakes,
By
lizards.
anaconda.
She had
Ball
bunnies. Like her family had everything. So
Damn.
So no frogs though.
no, I don't know anybody that had any frogs.
No frogs. Yeah, I also. But so frogs are a
Those are-
common pet now, right? Like the Pac-Man frog.
Does
So-
a bucket full of tadpoles count as owning a frog?
No, it counts as a weird thing that happened for you though.
Is that the
Listen,
metric
when you-
measurement? Like a bucket full of tadpoles?
When you have a family that has ponds in their backyard, you sometimes want frogs. So
I imagine the
I
idea
don't
of a
know.
bucket full of tadpoles just being just like how they're measured. Yeah, I like that, Tim. It's just like yeah, you go to a pond and you see like,
the
flock,
squirmies.
flocks of birds or whatever, and you're like, it's a bucket of tadpoles.
Oh, there's 3 buckets at least in there, maybe 4.
It's like a murder of crows. It's a bucket
a
of
foot full
tadpoles.
of kittens.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because today we are talking about a feast of bullfrogs and Tulip's worm, which, oddly enough, worms and frogs go together like peanut butter and chocolate.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's
I
See?
think
fine.
I
That's
think
a-
it'd be better to say peanut butter and vinegar.
Well,
That's
they-
later in the episode, but
Yeah. that's it's funny. I'll give you that. It's funny.
Is it?
I thought I got a hearty ha out of it
you got a
in my
hearty out of
head.
it. Damn. All right.
In my head. I didn't say it out loud.
You got a rough air spout from my nose.
I breathe. I exhaled quickly. And again, ladies and gents of our
doing our
listening
best.
audience, we're gonna deal with some fun stuff today. Mostly because the A episode, A Feast of Bullfrogs, can be summed up in a very small amount of words, which is frogs want pond, frogs take over home, frogs make people dig pond, Frogs try eat people. Frogs leave.
Uh,
Da da da
wow.
da da da.
Bap, bap.
Not only did you say more than the wiki did,
Mhm.
uh, you
Yeah,
hit it
well.
right in the head.
Yeah, so let's get
Like, is there any
the
more to say? That's the sad thing.
yeah,
There
let's get
is.
the so currently in Kansas there's in all of the Midwest there's a big old drought, which is very cool.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Just a little.
we're all windswept and interesting out here. But in the episode that we're going to talk about today, there's also a drought, and you're going to have a bunch of bullfrogs need a new pond, and they go to look for water. And we cut to the Bag household, and it's full of water. And that's when the frogs, led by King Buffo, will mount an
Fool.
insurrection, if you will.
An amphibious assault.
Oh, an amphibious
Oh.
assault.
God bless
Anyway.
the king.
That was good. And yeah, this is one of those episodes where there's not a lot of plot. It just kind of happens, and then there's another conflict later, which we'll talk about briefly in a moment. But
Do you?
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I'm pretty sure that Eustace could have put up a fight against a frog, but he couldn't in this
I don't
episode.
know, dude. They're fucking okay. So this brings me to my point. Have you guys ever like been around bullfrogs?
No.
No,
Like,
not
have you
bullfrog,
ever
just the tiny
seen
ones.
I've seen
bullfrogs?
a bullfrog, but I've never like been in the wild and like there's
So
bullfrogs.
bullfrogs are big old boys.
These are the ones
Bullfrogs
that eat each other, right?
they will eat each other. They're carnivore, like they are carnivorous to a point where it's like, yeah, they eat bugs and stuff, and you're like, that's cool. They'll eat fish.
All
They
right.
will also occasionally eat small birds.
And then
Okay.
you cry a little bit.
They will eat small rodents, like mice and rats.
Okay.
They will also eat other small like animals, depending on how big they get. It's not uncommon to see bullfrogs even go after like small mammals.
Kittens.
So would small frogs be one?
Oh, they're carniv. Yeah, they're cannibalistic as shit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. No.
No,
And so-
they're mean. They're mean sons of bitches. Bullfrogs.
They'll eat so much, right? These are those frogs that'll eat so much that they'll actually explode their stomachs, right?
I think that's. I don't know if that's ever been like 100% proven. But it is possible. They're also aggressive. Like the North American bullfrog is aggressive as shit. There's also African bullfrogs, which are even worse.
Oh no. Those
They're-
are dogs,
they're-
don't they?
They're fucking big and they're mean. Yeah. They're not gonna ever fuck with a human, but like, they're carnivorous sons of bitches. And so when we talk about like they eat snakes, some like other water, like they'll eat water snakes sometimes.
Oh, like yeah, moccasins and shit. Yeah.
There is bullfrogs also maybe partially resistant to the venom of the copperhead and cottonmouth.
That's terrifying.
Like they are.
So
They're mean-
bullfrogs
they're-
are the one
yeah.
animals we don't want to grow to us size.
If you grew a bullfrog to human size, it would eat us.
Oh.
Like 110%. They're just mean. They're mean frogs. Which means that like when you have this group of
angry, angsty fucking bullfrogs.
angry pond-driven bullfrogs invade a home, you are going to have a bit of an issue. And that's essentially what we're seeing in this episode. Is the Feast of the Bullfrogs is all about the frogs want water. They find water at the Bag household, where the Bag household is beset by a plague of frogs, much like the Bible.
Eustace strikes me as the man who would have pissed off God at some point
I
or
just
another.
and if they would have put some lamb's blood above their door.
It would have been fine. And
It would have been fine.
the frogs have a hierarchy, though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so there's King Buffo, which is the king of the frogs.
Yeah, they're organized frogs. I don't like that they're organized.
Yeah,
They
and
got
then
him a
there's
tiny little cape.
Mhm.
yeah, and like, does he have a scepter? Yeah, I don't think he has.
At one point in time, he does, and then there's King Buffo. There's King Buffo's little like nerdy advisor boy.
Was he ever given a name?
He was
No.
not given a
Or is he
name.
King
just Brainy
Buffos-
Frog?
It's
That's
King
Brainy Frog.
Buffos- Oh, it is. Well, no, it says King Buffo's
It's-
advisor here in the wiki.
Yeah, there's not a name for him.
Nah,
but
Yeah.
he's Brainy Frog.
I'll take that.
and then there's the big one named Bluff, who's just a big old boy.
He's an enforcer.
Yeah, he's Enforcer Frog.
Enforcer Frog.
Enforcer Frog. Why was that
That's
never
what
a
Brian
character
should've
on? Why was that never a character on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Hey, I'm an enforcer frog. Shredder's got the right idea.
Why did Casey, the character
Not
Casey,
become a
not
frog?
turn into a frog and become an enforcer hockey playing frog?
No, because then who's gonna marry April O'Neil?
Leonardo.
That's right, and how it should be.
Raph.
You're right.
I don't like this stuff.
Michelangelo.
hmm That's how the new Nickelodeon series for Teenage Mutant Turtles went. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah,
one's
a
the
lot of
Brady?
feet in that one too, huh?
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't like that
Yeah.
part.
A lot of turtle feet. I didn't like it.
My nieces really enjoyed that, but I was like, there's something weird going on.
Yeah, a lot of feet. I was making jokes.
There are literally a lot of feet in that animated show.
Mm.
Also on Nickelodeon in general. We don't need to talk about
Also-
ongoing things.
That's right, because actually we could slander them because we only care about Cartoon Network shows on this podcast.
True. Feet
I'm
free.
sure the Cartoon Network.
What if that was our
the
entire
pr-
stance?
The pristine Cartoon Network.
The Cartoon Network that has never had any problems in Turner broadcasting at all.
Never.
Absolutely
And they've
none.
nehave shown feet on any of their shows, including Courage.
There's never been feet feet states.
There have never been a feet problem on Courage the Cowardly Dog, not in this episode especially, where
No.
Eustace is watching his feet.
It's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they clipped the feet.
Yeah, and then that was where this ended up going to, is that the frogs beat the humans, they make Courage dig the pond, they make the humans fill the pond, and then they make the humans be frogs? Hold on to that thought, listener. We're going to come back to it, but they make them be frogs. Where that was weird.
Huh.
Where they just like forced them. Also, that was
Listen,
the fastest the bags have ever fallen under anything ever.
They were kind of
Yeah.
forced to by
Yes.
Bluff.
It took
But
literally
it's just a
20
lot.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, like 30 seconds max, and they're like, I guess we're frogs now.
I mean, it's just so easy.
But
Why wouldn't I be frogs?
That's true.
True.
Everything either is or is not frog.
I either are frog or not frog.
I either am frog or am not frog.
Help, I have frogged and I can't get up.
There is a really good payoff in this episode, though, in which, in the kitchen, when they're looking for lily pads, the big frog enforcer sees a fly, and he tongues the fly, and then he gets a hold of some fly paper,
Don't
And he's
say
like-
it like that.
and he's like, "Oh, I can't get it off my face very easily," and he gets mad, and then Courage is gonna use that at the end of the episode to
To
We're
capture
not even
all
walking
the
through this
frogs.
episode. We're just talking
To
about
get-
plot points we liked at
Well,
this
it's
point.
because if we walk them through it, not
That I did though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's not.
we
It's not a
couldn't-
hard. It's not a hard episode to watch.
We
No.
forgot to mention the frog tongued Courage's eye.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
frogs tongue a lot of things. There's a lot of tongue action,
The frog,
taction, if you will.
Yeah, true.
too much tonguing.
I do
Yeah.
like, and this is right when the frogs do start invading the house. Courage is taking a bath, which is going to be an iconic scene later in the series. He has a little frog toy that he pushes down. He's just like, this is how I play with toys. I just push them under the water and they bob back up.
Yeah.
Courage is literally a
true.
child.
Well, he's a dog.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, it's a bathtub toy. I mean, it
It
can't
is
go.
yeah.
It
What
can't
else
go.
are you gonna do with a
Nah,
bathtub
nah.
toy?
See, then you get a battleship toy, and then you have a rubber
Well,
ducky
it's
toy.
not
You
a
gotta fight them
battleship
out.
toy now, is it? It's a frog toy.
But also, real quick, did you ever have the torpedoes, like the little plastic torpedoes that you would
Mine
like
was
throw
a
in the
shark.
pool and it would like dive?
Yeah. I never
Yeah.
had them
Did you?
personally, but I played with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those of us that had a childhood, had them,
Fuck.
and those of us who, our parents who cared,
Those of us who weren't in
Yeah.
poverty.
yeah.
Hmm.
uh,
Continue.
they did you ever I
Yeah.
used one in the tub. Like,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna throw it. And I was just
All
like, I
right.
don't know what my brain when I was a kid, I was just like, I was definitely like probably like 8 years old, and I had one. I was like, yeah, the torpedo. I need that in the tub. And I sat in the tub and I threw it, and it just hit the fucking wall of the tub, and my entire brain just went, I don't I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. Like I think I thought like every cartoon when you do something
It'll
and
turn
like
around and come back to me.
or like you like in every cartoon when you see a kid playing in the tub and it's like, whoa, it's this weird underwater magical thing. I was like, if I fucking throw this, it'll go for donk. I was like, oh,
Oh.
never
Well,
mind. This is
Is it-
clearly only a pool toy. And then I'd take it to the public pool and realize very quickly that you can't play with pool toys in a public pool.
No,
Nope.
not at all.
Everybody gets mad.
Yeah.
That's not everyone
yeah.
gets mad. You lose it. So
That too.
Well,
yeah.
or everyone gets mad because the minute you throw a fucking squish ball across the pool to your buddy, like 14
No.
moms get mad at you because you got their hair wet as they slowly walk through the shallow end.
Oh.
It was the dumbest shit. This is this episode, guys. We're talking about water.
I was gonna say
Um,
the difference in metropolitan life is paramount here.
Well, you know.
Those were words
well,
that I somehow
You
said.
didn't have to deal with frogs.
Yeah,
true.
you didn't have to deal with frogs like we did in the back country.
My bucket full of tadpoles.
You're
Beg to differ.
my bucket got a bucket full of tadpoles on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you tadpoled your neighbor, you just toss that bucket at him.
You just tossed a. That sounds like the fucking creepiest experience.
That sounds terrifying. It's just like
You know, they're all wiggling around, don't you?
they're in your like clothes and shit. And,
yeah.
There's
like a bucket of
tadpoles in my
slugs.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a bucket of slugs would clearly be worse, but
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you.
ugh.
So that's the thing, though, is that this episode, there's flypaper. Courage sees it. That's a MacGuffin. He's gonna come. Well, I guess it's not a MacGuffin. It's a plot point. He's gonna come back to it. Mariel and Eustace gotta be frogs. King Buffo is like, we're gonna have the Buffo's advisor is like, let's have a feast after the Courage digs a pond in their house. So they slather Courage with honey to attract flies.
And I think that unlocked like something in Courage because he seemed to enjoy it.
He really
little
did
too
enjoy
much.
it. Yeah, he like licked the honey for a little bit. Anyway,
Oh, Muriel, I'm sticky.
I'm all sticky.
Mm.
Stick me, mommy, stick me.
Muriel's just like, oh, okay, Courage.
And then this is when Courage sees he is covered in flies. They bring him in, they scrape him off, and he sees Muriel and Eustace in a catatonic state, having their feet prepared because they're going to serve human legs to the frogs.
A delicacy, human legs.
And they're not even gonna cut them off. They're just gonna keep
No.
them on.
Yeah, you're just
No,
gonna.
you got to keep them fresh as long as
You
you
don't have to though. I've had frogs' legs. Have you?
No.
You guys never had frogs' legs?
No.
I mean, I've had a few things, but I haven't had frogs' legs.
I live in Kansas. No.
You can get them.
Can you get
It's
them
not
good?
hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of frogs, so
It's
I'm
just
sure.
frogs.
What's it taste like?
Honestly,
give me
it's
the
like,
closest equivalent.
you ever had alligator?
Yes,
Yes,
I have
I
had
have.
alligator.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how alligator has like the texture of fish, but the flavor of chicken, meaning it just kind of takes on whatever you put it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
like you season it with.
So
The
you're telling.
same kind of idea where it's like it's a little bit more chickeny because it's much more of a muscle like area,
Hmm.
Yeah.
like texture wise. But in all honesty, the flavor is pretty much just like, what did you season it with? It's kind of like rabbit.
I don't like
Okay.
rabbit.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
had.
I
So
don't like gamey meats, to be fair, but
I gotcha.
the sad thing about this is that I don't know how much time you spent in Florida. I spent a lot of time in
None, because
Florida.
3 days.
I'm a true American, and
I've been.
I acknowledge that Florida should have never been bought
No,
Yeah.
from the Spanish.
Yeah. My grandparents lived in Florida when I was a kid, and we'd go
Mhm.
down there visit them every couple of years, and that's the only time I ever got to taste alligator,
Mhm.
in any kind of exotic food.
Mhm.
Which when your mother has a shellfish allergy, you don't try a lot. And which I inherited apparently, which is
Yeah.
great.
Sucks.
That's why I didn't know till college, because like there's no shellfish around to have. So
Sucks for you, he says while eating crab.
oh,
I wish I had some crab.
I don't have crab.
I wish I could eat crab.
Wish I had some
Oh well.
lobster.
It sucks because when I was a kid, I didn't necessarily have the same allergy because my brother has told me numerous times that I did have shrimp and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't really
know.
like lobster. I more like the butter that comes with lobster than I actually enjoy lobster itself.
As someone who's known you for a very long time, that is the most accurate fucking statement I've heard you say in a while.
I just really like butter.
like,
Yeah.
like, just like the earnestness in which that came out, I was like, yeah, that tracks.
I mean, everyone
It's like
likes
I'll
butter.
eat it. I don't dislike it, but I'm just like, do I really enjoy lobster? I don't think so.
I think I just like the butter. You cut to Sheldon just drinking the little cup of butter that comes with his
It's a
Ah,
shot.
thanks.
He
You
just
can
shoots
send
it
the rest
back.
back.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Oh, that was great.
I one time drank blue cheese dressing for a bet.
Did you end up
Okay.
liking it?
Oh, I fucking love blue cheese. That was the thing. They were like, "But you won't drink it." And I was like,
I
"Fuck,
did.
okay,
It
$5
was already
it-
halfway in your mouth. before the money
$5
was on
for
the table.
me."
Yeah.
It was bad later, but yeah,
Yeah.
because turns out if you just drink dressing, it goes different, you know.
Yeah, it's like shotgunning ranch. You're not supposed to, but you
But you do.
can.
But you
Yeah.
can, you
Yes.
know. It's like chugging maple syrup.
Never done that before.
I have actually done that before. It's not fun. It is not like chugging a beer. It's more like chugging
Well, no.
literal maple syrup because it's
Well, it is
as
maple
slow
syrup.
as
I just
possible to get
imagine,
down your
like,
throat.
Like Tim does the whole cartoonish hold the fucking glass above his head as it just slowly
Yeah, you're
sinks
waiting.
down to him.
Tim
And you're
drills a
waiting for the
hole in
first
the.
drop, and then you, as soon as like it starts streaming to your mouth, you go, "Oh no,
This
oh,
was
no,
a mistake.
no. This is not gonna work. It's not going fast enough."
It's too late.
Yeah. But anyway,
Courage.
they're gonna serve human legs, and Courage goes, "Oh no," but remembers the fly paper, and so he re-honeys himself,
Okay, I like
With
it.
glee.
recaptures some flies, puts them upon the fly paper, flings himself into the living room where there's now a bed of hot coals, which I have questions on how the fucking frogs got it lit.
Wait, was it exactly where the pond was too?
It was technically beside it, but that room isn't big enough and it's spatially wrong.
So I do have to point out there are a ton of continuity errors in just this first
Is-
part of the
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Is the
Because-
badass just an Eldritch horror?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
It's always changing because, like, yeah, there's no basement in this one.
Yeah.
There's like the issue of like that spatially doesn't work with the hot coals. Anyway,
there's
SCP,
more.
the bag home.
yeah, Courage flings himself into the kitchen or into the living room. He then fly papers the ceiling with all the flies on the fly paper. All the frogs go appetizers. They fling towards their tongues towards it because they're frogs.
Frogs
He
ain't
ties up their tongues and then hammer throws them into a pond somewhere. leaving King Buffo to have to go find a new
I
group
need
of people
new
to be
followers.
worshipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is probably like it. We said it at the time while watching the recording, or watching the episode while recording it, whatever bullshit.
This is gonna be a hell of an episode.
Yeah, we just we watched that happen, and I'm just like, huh. You guys mentioned that was the easiest way to get rid of a villain.
Yeah.
Because the frog just goes, oh, well. See
Well,
you
I guess
later."
I'll leave.
Stupid dog.
You somehow tricked my entire congregation to be even dumber.
Damn it.
Goodbye.
When I get new followers, I'll be right back here for my pond.
Isn't... Did the
No,
brain
they're just
frog
gone.
also fall for the trick?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
All of them but the king did.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even a trick. The king was just maybe slow to the
track.
gun. Yeah.
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 Oh.
But the best part is now that he's trying to attract humans, because in the very next scene they're watching the game.
Yeah.
And it's a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And on the television, all you see is a ball flying out, and they go, "No one's gonna be able to catch this." And you
There's
see a
not
frog
a single
tongue.
person that can.
One frog tongue.
Up, catches it, brings it back down, and
Buffo.
He's got it. So now he's trying
Buffo.
to, become one of the reptilians in our society, which is nice.
He's already...
No, he's an amphibian.
Oh, you got me there. Yeah, there.
He'll never be accepted.
Those lizards will never take them into the new
won't.
world order.
Nope.
No.
So we can rely on him when the reptilians try to finally take over.
That's true.
The irony. You know what? I back Buffo. Do you back Buffo?
I back Buffo.
I back Buffo.
God, if we had merch.
That'll
Do
be
you
our
want to
first
have
t-shirt.
merch?
Just like... That would be the best fucking t-shirt. Just a fake political t-shirt that just says like Buffo 2024. I back the Buffo.
I back Buffo.
Where do you stand?
What have your politicians done lately? Buffalo has gotten his congregation a new pond, food, and shelter.
Buffo promises a pond in every yard and a belly full of food.
Pond, it shows up.
It's just very silly.
Buffo here, Buffo there. Buffo needs to be everywhere.
Buffo.
We just made a commercial for Buffo.
Yeah.
I'm with it. So as I mentioned, there's no trivia for this, but
oh my goodness,
there's a production note for both of these episodes, which I think is funny. I'd like to talk about it just because I know how production works. The production note says, although this premiered in the United States on June 28th, 2002, it was actually produced in 2001, according to the credits. Which means two things. One, this could have been originally made for season 2. Which is very common, but it just means that when they were in their production cycle, they wanted to hold off on it because they didn't either think it fit in the season, or they just had more pivotal episodes to put in the season that helped the story along or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a weird note to have in a wiki.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you will make episodes that don't actually air, especially if they're one-off episodes like this, where this is really not really integral to any story that's already ongoing or anything like that. Especially in this series where everything's standalone for the most part.
For the most part, I don't think there's ever been a callback to a previous episode. You guys, besides previous villains,
there's there's like unofficial, inconsequential type ones.
Yeah, well, Courage knows cats. Courage knows certain people like the Butcher. But it's not like they're using that as like a very big plot point or anything at any time. Just to show that this is the person that's coming back, he's evil. It's just weird that that's even a note on this wiki that someone noticed that, because you can and a lot of times, like Cartoon Network and other networks will batch make ton of these episodes. And if one just
Yeah.
doesn't fit or they need to redo something on it, they will pull it for another season. Or if they can't use it all, they'll just call it a lost episode, just ditch it altogether. Uh, it happens a lot. It doesn't happen so much so that you have like every series or every cartoon has
It doesn't
one,
happen
but
enough, says Timothy.
yeah, right.
We
Well, I
should
mean,
burn more episodes.
I mean, there's definitely lost episodes of like Dexter's Lab and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Where one
know
of
that
them was
one.
played at a convention where it was them cursing the whole time. Uh,
Yeah, but those are not uncommon because you have production where you can find animation of Porky Pig fucking cussing
it's for
because
investors, yeah.
it's just for like you do fucking there's so much shit that goes into it. Sometimes you just do silly shit and you're like, it's just a fun episode for us.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's for like
We
a
need to
Christmas
have fun
card,
for once.
which is what
Yeah.
South Park was originally. South Park was just Christmas cards that they would send out, and people thought it
Yeah.
was funny enough they could make it, right? It's stuff like that. I
Yeah.
just think it's weird that it ended up on the wiki. It's not really something to mention.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, if there's ever a trend, it's shit that doesn't need to show up on wikis.
That's true. You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
Oh, especially for the Feast of the Bullfrogs.
Courage is a cartoon show.
Courage is a show about a dog. I will give this episode
No.
2.5 sticky courages out of 5.
Ooh. Why only 2.5?
It's fine. It's one of those
Listen, man.
episodes. Yeah, it's one of those episodes where I'm like, it just goes fast. It has a lot of quick cuts, and like, it's a weird one. I enjoy the weirdness. I just don't. I don't know.
But it's
Didn't
not gonna
vibe with me
stick
today.
with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
didn't vibe with me today.
I understand that.
This whole episode didn't vibe with me today.
Yeah, see.
Yeah,
Sheldon, would you like to go next, or you want me
yeah
to go?
sure. I'll fucking go next. Give me
Okay.
a fucking hot minute. I'm gonna rate this fucking 3. Let's say 3 burning feet out of 5.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah.
Honestly, it's not gonna stick. I'm gonna forget this episode literally tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like it served its purpose.
I will remember bits, but not the episode.
I remembered the buff frog, but then
Yeah.
I forgot the rest of it.
That's
See,
kind of where I'm at.
I'm going to be generous and give it 3.5 house pawns out of 5 because I think it for an episode that's like this, where it's very much just like a one-off, like whatever kind of thing. I think it's fun. It's good for Cartoon Network. It's good for like the audience that they're
Good
showing
for
out.
kids.
Yeah, like if I was a kid watching this, I'd be very happy to see this episode pop up. It's not an episode that I'd be looking for, right? Like it's not a Cat's Motel. It's not a
Freaky Fred.
yeah, right. It's not one of those crazy episodes, but it's something that came up like yeah, I'll watch it instead of switching the channel, kind of thing. So I don't know. No one else want to do house pawns, eh?
No,
Too easy.
All yours.
not easy.
All yours. Speaking of frogs, one of the main diets of many frogs around the world is worm.
I thought it was flies. Look at me.
Yeah, it could have been that too. I didn't have a good transition into Tulip's worm, but here we are. We're talking about Tulip's worm now, and fuck, I could have done a cool thing about the Dutch. Tulips.
About
Dutch.
okay, the Dutch.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Nah, it's too late. I already said it. In which Tulip's worm is a much more plot-driven episode, I would say. It's also very odd, very fun though. In which
Is it about a worm?
It's about a worm.
No.
Wow.
It's about a space worm.
This is like the third worm episode, right?
A spur. Oh.
Mm. Although it's about the same size.
No.
Oh.
No.
But we open to a spaceship crashing in nowhere, like we've seen numerous times before. When out steps the alien menace, 2 little teddy bears. After they destroyed the city.
Yeah, because
Hey,
one of
you
them's
gotta
dumb.
do this first.
Yeah.
And they're looking for a worm, and then we cut over to the Bag household where Courage is being booted from home for playing his, and I'm saying this with air quotes, tuba.
Okay.
I mean,
now we
yeah.
have to pick a fight.
Go ahead, nerds.
Because when I was in high school, I played a baritone, euphonium, if you will. It is very
Euphonium?
much what is
Call
in
it
that
2 more
episode.
things.
Yep, it's also kind of looked like when you got kicked out of the house, a French horn.
I said it was a French horn. Looking back on it, nah. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
listen,
it's
it
a
belongs
baritone.
to that subgroup of pipe and horn. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Does a tuba not wrap around you?
So a marching tuba does. A concert tuba does not. It sits in your lap, but it is huge. Like it would be the size of a person, basically. A baritone is smaller. It sits in your lap, and it's not bigger than the person. It'd probably be from like the head of a person down to its lap. A
And
tuba
you
would
fist
be
the French horn.
yeah, and the French horn would be your hand inside.
Yeah,
the
you
horn.
do have to fist a French horn. That's a dumb fucking way to do it, huh?
Yeah,
You just pitch it with the fist.
I mean,
Just-
I don't
Getting
yeah.
you ready for a career in something.
Never liked the French horn myself. I'm not gonna lie.
I never played the French horn.
It's a masochistic instrument.
Yeah, it's because in a lot of instruments, a lot of horn instruments, you put a mute in it to make it sound differently. Instead, this one
Yeah.
you just put your fist in.
And let me tell you, it won't be the only thing that sounds differently.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, baby, I played French horn in high school.
Hey, baby.
And then she goes, oh dear, oh God.
I played the French horn in Where are you going? Where are you going? Come back.
I don't play it now.
It's really cool, though. Fucking French horn.
God. I don't know. It's one of those things where I was watching it and it was like, that's clearly a baritone. And she goes tuba, and I'm like, fucking A, you guys didn't even go for the cliff notes. You didn't even care.
Yeah, they didn't. Because I would say it's inconsequential, but it's not actually.
No, it's a huge plot point. That's the sad part.
Well, and that's
Biggest part of the episode. It's like, hey.
And a baritone is like a small tuba. So, like, technically,
Yeah.
you're never wrong.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
it's
wrong. I'm just
yeah.
upset. So you can fucking suck my tuba.
Yeah, it's just obviously a baritone.
Suck on this tuba. I'll baritone you.
Don't you do it.
But yeah, it's Courage gets kicked out for playing an instrument because he's very clearly annoying the Eustace. And very, very few times do I agree with Eustace, but I get it.
When your kid plays an instrument in the house, you just gotta kick him out.
My parents feel the same. Don't worry.
They're going down the wrong lot.
Just put them in the garage. But he goes out, he starts playing it, and we cut to a little worm with a couple of eyes coming out of the ground, and
he thinks Courage slaps.
He's a fucking banger. And Muriel's like, I'm so happy you found a friend.
I'm so happy you found somebody to like that shit you play.
And you have all of that happening when you then have the spaceship burst through the clouds and land, and the 2 teddy bears descend with a laser bazooka.
Yeah, I'd call it a lazooka.
A lazooka.
Lazooka, yeah.
And with that lazooka, you have them threatening Muriel and Courage about the Worms whereabouts, and they're like, I don't know.
Listen, can you find us this worm, or we'll blow everything up?
And then Muriel says no, and what do, Sheldon?
They blow everything up.
They
Could you
blow
imagine?
everything up. And Eustace is like, close a window. They blow up the house. And
God, it's the most disappointing thing ever because I thought Eustace was dead. They shot off his head, but then it
You
just.
really want
you
Eustace to
really
die.
want this old man to be a corpse.
I just want more deaths. They walked away from
You're
the
never
Eustace
gonna get it.
deaths. I
You're
know.
never gonna get it.
Granted, if anybody does deserve the cold embrace of death, Eustace Baggs is probably one of those people.
He's the one.
not great.
He has had like what 3 episodes where he's either redeemed himself or at least shown why he's such a shitty person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so that happens. They said we're gonna blow you up and tell us where the worm is, and Muriel said that's not very polite. He goes, tell us where the worm is or we'll blow you up, please. And that's enough to get Courage to realize that they're serious, and then he plays the song and the worm appears and the teddy bears jump on it to
the
grab
teddy bears
it.
start tugging on that worm.
And when the teddy bears tug on the worm,
Yep.
when the teddy bear tugs on the worm, a Soviet agent is activated somewhere to kill John Lennon.
Oh God, that was not
Yeah.
going there. I was like, this is the birds and bees. Instead, it's the teddies and the worms.
No, it's a Soviet agent has been activated with that series of words that will never be put together by humans other than activating a Soviet agent.
Yeah, someone's
Hello?
listening to this and they suddenly just perk up and they go,
Kill John Lennon. But
I'll be back.
get Ronald Reagan.
Is it possible for a fucking like a fucking shadow warrior, whatever the fuck they call them, to accidentally say their activation phrase themselves?
A sleeper
Yeah,
agent to
sleep-
accidentally activate themselves.
I think there have been numerous CBS show plots where that is exactly what happens. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. All of them never
That's-
made it past season 1.
That's just a bucket full of tadpole.
Huh? I gotta kill
Yeah.
something.
Get George Bush. Yeah.
Oh God.
Senior.
Fucking
JFK.
pressed in the activation code just accidentally said the wrong thing, so it just doesn't activate.
Get
at the right time.
JFK. Yeah. And as the attack happens on the worm, we then realize that it was not a little baby worm. It's in fact a big old worm, like an Alaskan bull worm. And they are eaten, and then Muriel is eaten,
And that's it. He
and
There's
then-
courage.
and then Courage has to jump down the hole to chase the worm, and then the teddy bears and Muriel are inside the worm, and the teddy bears go, "You got to get it on the ship to get it back to Tulip."
She's the owner. She's a
She's
great
the
person.
owner. That's weird pet.
Yeah,
I mean,
this episode gets weirder as it goes.
It's a fucking
not.
tremor, man.
Yeah,
That's a graboid.
That's what I thought it was. Like as soon as the two teddies walked out of the spaceship, it's like, "Where's that worm?" I was like, "Sheldon, this is your episode. This is Trevor's."
I just needed Bert to show up.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, I guess they did if they were teddy bears. That's fine.
And that was arguably Bert. They had the guns.
Yeah.
Laser safety.
And so Courage uses the tuba to get the worm onto the spaceship. And then he takes the instructions from the teddies to fly the spaceship home.
Have you ever driven a 5-star port fucking level nuclear engine? No. What
You're
about
right
riding a bike? Probably the best joke.
It was a really
That's
good
that's
joke.
a pretty good joke for even
episode-
Courage at this point.
It's been a while since I've actually laughed at a joke. Told by
Yeah.
Courage.
That was not even a laugh. That was like a chuckle too. Like
They
you
were
didn't
good.
laugh.
They
Yeah,
They
it's
were
a
good
one.
jokes.
Mm.
And they fly through this fun space time, which Courage has put a tuba recording on
The
the
best
worm.
chilling tuba hits.
Yeah,
Relaxing.
lo-fi tuba beats. Um,
I
Lo-fi
need to call
tuba
my
beats to
brother.
study too.
My
and they
brother,
fly.
my brother played tuba. I played baritone. I need to tell
Uh-huh.
him he needs to make lo-fi tuba beats right now.
Then I'll play the saxophone, and we can get
And I'll
we
call
Oh
you all
shit!
nerds.
We just got a lo-fi jazz band going right now.
and then we'll be just kicked out of every club in town.
Can I just Yoko Ono and just
Sure,
behind you?
sure.
So
We
me and
just
my
need to
brother have
scream.
both punk rock, yes, go for it, yes.
Just screams.
Mhm.
Um,
The brass
but
holes.
We'll
the
have
brass
instrumental
holes.
versions. Brass. Yes, that's perfect.
I feel like it's already taken. To be
That has
fair,
to
I'm
be
sure it
taken.
has, yeah, but
But that happens, and they fly through space, and that's when we crash into a large blue girl
oh, hello.
named Tulip.
Was she British? I don't think she was.
Little bit. It was a little bit. I don't. She's alien, so you know.
Close enough.
Hmm. And that's when we find out. We get reassured it's her pet. She tries to make them barf up the Teddies and Muriel. It doesn't happen.
the gun comes out though.
Yeah. So Courage has to go in and pull them out.
Yeah, on this conveyor belt of worm stomach.
Good old
Which by the
Celia.
way, Toy Story 3
Yeah.
stole that scene for sure from Courage.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
you know they did.
Yeah. I mean, just look, it's like a play-by-play, the same thing. Well, we're all
Dilworth
friends
hasn't
together,
sued because
and
he's a
Muriel
better
going,
person.
I'm just gonna fall asleep here.
God damn it, Muriel. Could you give a shit about your existence just once? Stop having others solve your problems for you.
No, the dog can fix it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
The dog's got
And
it. Let the dog
and
do.
then they did. They got it out, and then
They got. How
And
did they get it out though?
uh,
he fucking used a peanut butter and jelly vinegar sandwich.
yeah.
Yep.
We forgot all about it because it's really not good.
I mean, it's
It's
not
set
a
up in the
MacGuffin,
beginning,
but it's a
and
plot
therefore it
point.
pays off because
So
Courage was given it, and then uh
throws half it up.
and then
Yeah.
Muriel's like, it's got vinegar. He's like, gross, it's bad, but that's what also gets them out. So who knows?
Gross, bad.
Yeah, and then Tulip is like, I got new pets, and Courage and Muriel are like, nope, and they fucking dip out of there with the spaceship and crash it home, and episode's over.
Yeah.
We've
I
done
like
it.
how this ends also with them not having that small spacecraft. I'm sure they'll get another, but
Hmm.
uh, it's more like now they're all stranded there. We don't have to worry about them forever.
Yeah,
No, she'll just like skipping stone those teddy bears. to
just
planet Earth.
fucking yeet them.
I mean, this is Courage, so they do have a alien on an asteroid that hits shit towards Earth with a tennis racket. So, yeah,
That's true.
that man,
You're not wrong.
that boy.
That boy,
It's because I bird. I don't fucking know.
that thing.
That thing.
But that does happen, and yeah, it's an odd episode. I would say it's more plot driven, but also not really at the same time. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird episode, man.
I liked it more than I liked the
Yeah, it was
frog one.
yeah, I
I
also
do
did.
want to step in here. There's some things on the wiki I want to talk about.
Oh,
Well, you
sure.
just go right on ahead and do your step stapping.
So there are two trivia facts. I know what you guys said at the beginning.
No, this is legally binding.
Then these
No,
are
no,
just
I
facts.
care now.
Fuck.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
me.
This is the last episode where Lionel Wilson voices Eustace. So that was the original voice
Oh.
actor for Eustace.
Mhm.
He did die in 2003. So after this episode, they had a different voice actor for.
I don't
gotcha.
want to be
Eustace.
sad.
So I know it's not great.
Death
but
is a
it's-
common death's a common misconception.
Now here's the trivia fact that tells me that once again that fandom is just a very nice place for things like Courage. This
Uh-huh.
scene where Muriel and teddy bears are inside the tulip worm waiting to get digested in the stomach acid could be a reference to the Sarlacc pit from the Return of the Jedi.
Well,
No, I'm going to go out and say no.
Well,
Because
here we are. Gotta take trivia as law now.
it's no, no, what? No. That doesn't make any sense. The
I mean,
Sarlacc
it's a
pit,
fact.
no.
That was so very fun for me.
No, stupid.
Uh,
There's also one thing in the wiki, other than the production note, which is the same one from the A part of the episode.
Wow.
The cameos, apparently. Apparently,
cameo?
the unnamed old woman and Gene Bond appear at the beginning of the episode.
no,
Gene
okay.
Bond is the butcher that is a pig.
Oh,
Yeah, he does.
Does
yeah,
he?
okay.
Hanging out in a bus stop.
And then we have Eustace's mom in a cloak.
Yeah, and that's what the unnamed old woman is, yeah. And, I don't...
Yeah.
You mean Bigfoot's mom?
Yeah, actually, that is Bigfoot's mom, isn't it? Yeah.
Unnamed old woman, we know.
She wants to remain unnamed, because,
She got fucked by Bigfoot.
she didn't get fucked by Bigfoot.
She got fucked by a Bigfoot.
A Bigfoot.
Let's just say, the birthing has caused her...
You know what they say about big feet? Mm.
No.
They better be packing.
Big shoes.
The big shoe. Stupid. No, I mean, I get that at the very beginning of the episode. But they were just set dressing at that point. I wouldn't count that as a cameo. But whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
guess I'll just... Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to rate this, because, teddy bears...
Oh, I would say... Yeah, I'd give it 3 googly-eyed little worms out of 5.
Okay.
All right.
A little bit better than the A part.
Maybe 3.5 googly-eyed worms.
I'm also on 3.5, I think. 3.5 tenderizing hammers out of 5.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 3.5 alien band-aids out of 5. Which is what
Gross.
Courage uses to fly off the girl and take Muriel to the spaceship. Yeah.
Band-aid there? Did she have a cut?
I don't know. It was never addressed.
Yeah, they never said. Yeah.
It was never addressed, Papa.
I mean, they never addressed why the worm got to Earth in the first place.
It found a way.
And why it likes
it went through a wormhole. What are you talking about?
It went through a wormhole. It went through a wormhole.
Boo. I think there's enough chaos in this episode that it would intrigue me as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it's very much like a drug trip at one point where they're just like, no, just jump the ship and drive to outer space. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Very fun.
You've done that before, right? Yeah.
And you know what? Courage has done this.
Technically.
He's been in space.
Yeah. Several times, actually.
They went to the sun, right?
He did. He put a new light bulb in the
sun.
He's also been to other dimensions. He's also been
to the far future.
Yeah.
With Banana Man?
With bananas, yeah. Yeah.
And monkeys?
Courage's done a lot, yeah. Huh. Terrifying.
Yeah, he sure has. And when we come back next month, he'll do even more.
Oh, that's the next episode.
Oh.
He'll do even more.
I'm sure the next episode will be enlightening. And
even more.
Enlightening is, I think, the next episode actually has some scary bits in it, too.
Oh,
never mind.
Which has been missing from.
Yeah, it's been just weird.
Yeah, I just looked at the trivia for one of the.
You need to stop doing that.
It's not great.
Stop it.
It definitely says 12-ounce mouse in it somewhere.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Nerd.
I love Adult Swim.
Yeah, you do, and I love Cartoon Network and the unproblematic Turner Broadcasting.
Never had a problem.
And with that, folks, I hope that you all have an enjoyable time until we meet again. This was the Liquid Courage podcast. Follow us on all of our socials, and we'll be
man.
back in the next month.
Yeah, we'll have more courage for you. We're
Yeah.
almost done with season 3. We're almost
Yeah.
at the end.
Oh, are
We
we?
sure are.
Oh no, what happens?
Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That was the Liquid Courage podcast, an in-depth look at every episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Music was provided by Visionless. You can find them at www.soundcloud.com/VISIONL3SS. We do not own the rights to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Until next time, have a wonderful night.